Hey, welcome to the Obi Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Obi, and we just talk sports here. Typically a lot of times we just talk Ohio sports, but kind of shifted gears a little bit here. I've been talking a little about the upcoming baseball season. We've already broken down the National League, and we'll get back to that a little bit later and talk about the National League as we go forward here. We'll kind of talk maybe a little playoffs things and who I think will be the World Series. We'll get there. But we're going to break down the AL East. We're going to start breaking down the AL. We'll start with the East today. And then we're going to do the West. I'm going to finish last with the Central because, well, I'm an Indians fan. And I just figured let's just do the AL Central last. So that's how we're going to do it. So the AL East. Let's just start right from the top with Baltimore. Baltimore, let's be honest, is not ready to be a factor in this division. They've just got too much young talent up and down their lineup and their rotations. So they're just not there yet. They just don't have it in them yet to compete with some of the bigger dogs in this division. They do have some young talent that's going to bring some excitement maybe for their fans. Once fans get back in the stadiums at about 30% for 40%, about 30-40% of their fans will get back in there. Some stadiums may be doing more. I'm not sure what they're doing in Maryland. I'm not exactly sure. But the fans that do get to see them, they're going to provide some excitement for them. They got Austin Hayes and Ryan Mountcastle, Yomer Sanchez, and Anthony Setater. Some guys that could provide some excitement, like I said, for their fans. But it's not going to help them in the grand scheme of things. It's not going to help them win a lot of games because offenses are going to blow you away. It could mean their future is bright and they can keep a lot of these young players here. The problem is Baltimore sometimes has that problem of being able to keep them, and so they go on into different teams. So the future could be bright for Baltimore, especially on the offense side of the things. Their starting rotation consists of, they did have Alex Cobb, but they lost him recently to free agents. I think they lost him a trade, with the Angels. Now pitches for the Angels. So John Means is going to get a chance to be the number one starter for them, probably. He's had some upside to his velocity, but his slider has been the one that's been dipped and has not been effective. It was not effective in the shortened season last year, so that's going to be a problem. Keegan Aiken, another one, a young pitcher for them, has a changeup, but it wasn't very effective last year as a rookie. But he's supposedly got a good one. His slider has success half the time, and when it's high, like that, he's got to get better at that. Dan Creamer has a heater and cutter combo, which is going to go very well for him. Should do well. It was very good against left-handers. Bruce Zimmerman has sequences low curveball and changeup as well. And then they have a spot that's kind of open for them, and it's going to be interesting to see who kind of takes that spot for them. They may try a couple different guys or something like that. Try to get it going for them. Their bullpen, Hunter Harvey will close. He attacks hitters with his 97-mile fastball, so he's got some good stuff. He needs to get better at setting up guys. Sometimes he kind of falls behind a little bit, and he needs to get better at that. Tanner Scott has been durable and leans on a nasty slider, so that should play dividends for him. Cesar Valdez almost throws curve changeups almost exclusively. That's like his pitch. Players to watch: Adley Rutschman, the best catching prospect in baseball. He's compared to Buster Posey or Joe Mauer. Grayson Rodriguez, a 6'5", 95 to 97 fastball, and two solid breaking balls, slider and a curveball, and he also uses a changeup. So he could be a guy. He could be a guy for them to watch, and you might be somebody to go out and watch him play if he gets a chance to be in the big leagues. Somebody to keep an eye on. Heston Kjerstand, outfield. He hits with power and could see action this year, possibly. Especially if they have to move small pieces like that. They may try to give him a spot out there a little bit. So he's got a potential of being very, very good. Prediction: they're going to be last in the division, and you could see them maybe unload some more players from their team and go a little bit younger, but they just don't have enough. The Boston Red Sox, they just seem to be going the wrong direction for whatever reason, and they will struggle to stop offenses because they have very weak pitching staff. We're gonna get to that in a minute. They have Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, and Jade Martinez that are just gonna light up the field for them. Gonna be the guys that are gonna get the most of their power and driving a lot of runs. But they need guys like Hunter Renfroe and Alex Verdugo, who they brought in through free agency or through a trade. And Michael Chavis is a guy that I'm kind of a young guy still. He's been trying to come in here and he's got to do something. Andrew Benintendi, back from injury, and he can make an impact as well. So obviously they got some players there, but they just kind of are going the wrong direction. They've been going the wrong direction for a while. Edward Rodriguez is back from this last year after testing positive for COVID, dealing with heart issues. So he's back, and he won 19 games in 2019. Nathan Lavadi hits triple digits with his fastball, but needs his curve and his slider to have success. Tanner Houck, creative slider fastball, needs to establish a third pitch. He doesn't have a third pitch really right now. And Nick Ferretta made strides last year, coming back last year, and needs his fastball and his changeup to help him. And then you got like a guy like maybe Matt Andrews who gets a shot at the rotation. Doesn't have much starting experience, but he might get some. Chris Sale, he could be effective if he stays healthy. He's just got to find his old self, basically. Their bullpen, Matt Barnes, he's no AL reliever, has more strikeouts appearance since 2016 than him. Ryan Brazier, a young guy, average exit velocity 91, needs to get better at mixing other pitches. And Phillips Valdez, changeup and produces strikeouts. So he's got a good changeup. Players to watch for them: Brian Mata, 97-mile fastball, and has a heavy sinker or a slider. Jeter Downs, a top prospect at second base. You can see some action. Has the tools to be a solid starter, above average contact skills, and growing power. So he's starting to develop some power. So that's good for them. Tristan Casella, first base, needs to refine his hitting skills. So they got some young guys there too. Overall, for them, they don't have enough. Again, they don't have enough pitching and offense. We'll have a hard time staying competitive, and you can see them possibly trading some of their starters, more trades of starters they could have to help rebuild. So they could trade some of their veteran players and try to bring in some young guys that keep going. And they're just going to finish ahead of Baltimore. They just don't have what it takes to get any higher than that. They just don't. The New York Yankees, the team that everybody loves to hate. Unless you're a Yankees fan, then you don't hate them. But they continue to make strides to get better and better and better. And they will be good again this year. Offensive DJ LeMahieu returns. And I think he hit for the batting average last year, the batting title. Luke Voigt, Stanton, Torres, Urshela, Judge, Sanchez all provide the power and would drive in runs. And Frazier and Hicks looking to contribute to the offense again. So very, very, very tough offense to stop. And the rotation has gotten a little bit better. It's probably not still where they would like the Yankees like to be. Garrett Cole is the ace, is the best velocity among AL qualifiers. 28 straight wins. 28 straight without a loss. 28 straight games without a loss. Yeah, not wins, but without a loss. So that's pretty good. Jordan Montgomery, a strike thrower. He's looking to try to bounce back once again from his Tommy John surgery that he had a while back ago. Still hasn't been the same pitcher that he was once before. But he's a strike thrower. He doesn't walk many guys, so that's good for them. Dominico German, rust with curve and changeup could show off after suspension. He was suspended last year, so I think probably the end of 19. So he's back. Corey Kluber signed as a free agent for them. He's trying to bounce back from an injury that shut him down last year for Texas. Because if he's healthy, he's got some pretty good stuff as well. A cutter that is so hard to hit. And David Garcia, a 92-mile fastball that showed flash last year. Michael King, a player to watch back in injury, so he can slide into rotation. So they got some guys they can slide in there as well. Their bullpen, probably one of the best because they got Chapman, who doesn't. So do not write off him. 14.9 K rate, best since 1900. Zach Britton, another fastball thrower. Lowest career ERA with 1.81 against the lowest among active pitchers. So he's got some good stuff. Adam Motivio, slider specialist, will leave too many pitches but he has a tendency to leave too many pitches in happy zone. So those are the three fronters of the bullpen. It's a pretty good bullpen. Players to watch: Jason Damquez, outfielder, switch hitting freak, and incredible tools. Clark Schmidt, pitcher that has 4 pitches, great average of control. Strike zone is sound. So he's a very good pitcher. You might see him possibly if any injuries come up or something like that or need to throw an arm in there or something like that. The trade deadline, they could always be a team that could add to their team, whether it be offense, to their pitching, to their starting rotation, their bullpen. So look for them. And probably first in the division, and they could even possibly reach the World Series. Yes, I said that, and I did like to say that, but I did. So they'll probably finish first in the division. So there you have it for them. And moving on, Tampa Bay, who went to the World Series last year. Brandon Lowe, Austin Meadows, Ray Ozura, Willie Adams are the main offense weapons. Look for Jamon Choi, Kevin Kimmer to help provide some offense. The newly acquired Francisco Mejia will compete with Mike Zeno at catcher. So change of scenery may help Mejia, who was with San Diego last few years. The rotation took a hit, losing Blake Snell, but Tyler Glasnow looks to lead the team now. He's got a deadly curve and a 97 mile per hour fastball. Went 19-4 in the last 23 starts, so he's got good stuff. Ryan Yarbrough, soft contact, 82.6 average exit velocity. Michael Wacha, they got from the Cardinals, hopes to regain touch on his changeup. Josh Fleming, a fringe prospect, succeeds with command on a natural sinker, so a young guy. Trevor Richardson only has 10 wins in 3 MLB seasons, so he's the guy that's got to step up for them. So they still got a pretty solid rotation. So got young guys that are hungry, and a team that's still hungry. Maybe want to try to get back where they were last year. Bullpen, Nick Anderson, 67 of 136 since coming to the Rays. Pete Fairbanks, high 90s, triple piles of the Ks. And Diego Castillo, a sweeping slider. Players to watch for them: Wander Francisco, shortstop, a number 1 prospect, great ball skills, drives ball hard. Powers are coming along and steps in a great base stealer, so somebody's got some speed. Somebody they might try to bring up here a little bit to try to get them something going here. Vital Brujan, a second baseman, excellent hitter and double plus speed. So another guy that's got some speed, some wheels. Luis Patino, player to keep an eye on because he was a guy that they got in the Blake Snell trade, and he has the stuff but needs to improve. So he's got the stuff there. Overall, I think they're going to take a step back from last year when they got to the World Series. I think they're going to finish third in the AL East, and that's tough to say because I think they got the tools, the team there. They may need to make a trade to kind of overtake who I got number 2, and that's the Blue Jays. They acquired Steve Marte and they signed George Springer and Kirby Yates. So Springer's going to add to an addition to this lineup that already has Bo Bichette, Kevin Biggio, Randall Grichuk, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Hernandez, Rody Talzez. So guys that can hit and drive in runs, and they're going to be able to provide a punch up and down the slide. So it's going to be a tough lineup to stop. Their starting rotation is the one that's going to have to kind of really step up and go somewhere. Like I said, Marte comes to here from the Blue Jays, and he's going to show what he can do. He shows promise of being even better than he was last year and the last couple of years he's been with the Mets. Hyun-Jin Giroux, fewer fastballs, changeup have been his recipe for success. So a guy that's going to have to rely on his changeup, and he's going to have to continue to rely on that. Robbie Ray, lefty to reach 1,000 Ks since 1930. The second fastest to reach 1,000 Ks since 1913. Thrives outside the strike zone. That's where he gets a lot of guys out, is in the strike zone. Tanner Roark has gas, but how much does he have left in the tank? He's a guy that's probably going to step in there. Ross Stripling, the guy that they got from the Dodgers, needs to get deeper into games. A lot of times he hasn't been going deep in games, and he needs to do that to be successful. Nate Pearson, sixth starter at the moment, but he could be a guy that could make the rotation or see some action at this point in the season. Bullpen, Jordan Rambo will be the closer, and he has a good fastball slider, so a young bullpen mate possibly. But Kirby Yates comes in here with a veteran experience for them in the bullpen. Rafael Dallas returns big league with quality sinker and a new pitch, a splitter. Julian Merriweather, vertical movement, four pitch mix, so he mixes in different four pitches. Players to watch, like I said, Nate Pearson. He's got a fastball that could hit triple digits. Austin Martin, shortstop. His slash line was 377, 506, 660 in college. So a young guy that could be a little ways away, but maybe somebody you might see towards the end of the season or something that they want to try to spill some guys or whatever. Simon Woods Richardson, a pitcher that has a four-seam fastball and a two-seamer, throws two breaking balls with good command. So another guy that could see some time maybe this year, possibly in 162 games, you might just see a whole lot of guys. Prediction: second in the division, and I think they're going to make the playoffs as a wild card team. I don't know how it's all going to play out here, but I think they got potential of getting there, and they could look to add some more pieces possibly to their bullpen and maybe the rotation to get themselves better. So the bottom line, to break it down, I had the Yankees in first place, the Blue Jays in second, the Tampa Bay Rays in third, the Boston Red Sox in fourth, and the Baltimore Orioles in fifth. So that's what I have. Hey, what do you think? Am I way off base on the AL East? Do you think Tampa Bay still got what it takes to take on the Yankees? Hey, tell me. Let me know. Hey, I always appreciate you guys being here. If you're a first-time viewer, I just want to say, I didn't say that earlier in the show, but I always say welcome in. I hope you come back and you let everybody know that you enjoy my shows. And if you're a returning viewer, I'm always glad to see you guys back. And I hope you guys have a great night, great day, whenever you see this. And yeah, leave some comments if you like this video. All right, guys, I gotta get going. I've been on here way too long. Until next time, this is Obi out.